First of all, thank you for sending in your emails to my webcast. This is my weekly webcast, each time a different place in the Capitol or on Capitol Hill. Today we're on the Senate side in what is referred to as the Vice President's office, but effectively it's a ceremonial office for the Vice President. The Vice President doesn't spend much time on Capitol Hill. Maybe 100 years ago, they used to actually preside over the Senate quite often. But in recent years, they come to the Senate only on special occasions, and particularly when there's going to be close votes, and the President wants to make sure that maybe his position is emphasized by the Vice President being here, and maybe cast a tie-breaking vote. Once in a while, this office may be used as a small room for a few senators to sit down and discuss some business on the side, but it's not used very often. And so consequently, it's a little used, but very important office. When the Vice President comes here to preside over the Senate, he needs a place to be. This week, as I do every week, try to tell you what's coming up on the Senate floor. This week we're going to finish the defense authorization bill that started last week, and then when we get done with that we'll move to an energy bill, and hopefully with drilling in it, and then also a tax extenders bill that would extend, like a lot of legislation at sunset might be automatically extended, but it'd be like the R&D research and development tax credit for businesses, or it might be like the biodiesel tax credit for the formulation of biodiesel. Now, as I often do, I try to respond to some of the email that comes in during the course of a week and answer a couple questions orally, and then the rest of them in writing. George from Bettendorf asks, will Congress bring up an energy bill that authorizes real drilling opportunities? I think the Democrats, who before our summer break in August rejected all attempts to vote on drilling because they wanted to respond to the pressure of environmentalists within their party, have now changed their tune. After 4 weeks back at the grassroots, they've heard that people are sick and tired of $4 gasoline, and that we ought to be using our own resources drilling here instead of spending billions of dollars overseas to give to countries where they train terrorists to kill Americans. And so I think they're going to offer a drilling amendment. I think it'll be very restricted and have some conditions on it that may make it very difficult to ever drill. If they don't offer a drilling provision, and this is drilling for oil, if they don't offer a reasonable provision, I think we Republicans will offer an amendment that is a meaningful amendment to actually bring resources that this country has to our use instead of importing. So one way or the other, we're going to get votes on it. Will it get to the President for signature? I hope so, but I don't know for sure at this point. Then to Vernon and Joan of Pickerel, what public good have government buyouts of Bear Stearns, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac done? In the case of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we had to pass legislation for that potential to happen. I voted against it. So quite frankly, I think that we've reached the point of what we call moral hazard, and it might do more harm than good. On the other hand, if I had to say what these buyouts have done, and in the case of Bear Stearns it would be buyout, in the case of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we don't know yet, but it probably has taken some panic out of the market. In other words, if they had gone into bankruptcy or gone under, I think it would have had the effect of bringing a slippery slope against other firms. I think that slippery slope is happening anyway, regardless of Bear Stearns. In the case of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, it might be a little bit different. I'd have to say to you to take some of the uncertainty out of the housing market and stop a free fall. If there's a justification for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, it would be that. Thank you both for asking your questions. The questions that I don't give orally, we'll try to respond to in writing. And so I invite you next week, at least one more week before we adjourn for the elections, and maybe 2 more weeks. I'll have another webcast and invite your email that I'll answer at that particular time.